Because of the rock upon which you are built, which is a sure foundation, a foundation whereon, if men build, they cannot fall. Hey Aaron, what does it really mean to build a foundation? How can you build that foundation there?
Hey Phil, stop for a sec. It's actually really easy. I'll use the parable of the three little pigs to explain.
The three little pigs, really? How?
Yeah, actually the stories are pretty similar. It all begins with this. There were once three siblings, much like the three little pigs. They had just graduated high school and were about to go into the world on their own. Their father, looking for advice, found a scripture on how to build their foundation. It was Helaman 5:12. It read, "And now, my sons, remember, that it is upon the rock of our Redeemer, who is Christ, the Son of God, that you must build your foundation. That when the devil shall send forth his mighty winds, yea, his shafts in the whirlwind, yea, when all his hail and his mighty storm shall beat upon you, it shall have no power over you, to drag you down to the gulf of misery and endless woe, because of the rock upon which you are built, which is a sure foundation. A foundation whereon, if men build, they cannot fall." So Brian, Corinne, and Shelby finally left their house and out into the world on their own. They decided the first thing they needed to do was build a house, so they went looking for materials. Shelby was the youngest sibling, and she was very rebellious. She found someone selling materials that looked a lot like straw. Being the lazy person she was, she went out and found someone to build a house for her.
That's so rude.
Corinne was the next child, and she had a bit of a gambling problem. She thought that she could win anything if she gambled for it. So she played a game with Elisa Wade for some magic sticks that she thought she could build her house with. After winning the sticks, she went to go build her house. Brian, being the oldest sibling, was the smartest one. He remembered what his father had said about building foundation, and so he decided to build his house out of bricks, stones, and rocks. He knew that building on the rock would make his foundation stronger than that of the straw house or the stick house. So he got some rocks and began building his house.
I have a feeling that his house is going to be a lot sturdier than the others.
Upon finishing her house, Shelby's friend Caitlin came over to tempt her.
It's a rated R movie. Wanna watch?
Shelby, remember what
She's gonna lead you down the path of righteousness. I'm gonna lead you down the path that rocks.
Not the
You will
eternal
watch
happiness
this.
that you're seeking for.
Yeah!
So wait, who is this Caitlin person?
Okay, Caitlin is Shelby's friend. She's one of the big bad wolves in this parable. She's trying to get Shelby off of her foundation. Karma came back to Shelby. The VCR overheated and her house burned down. This forced her to move in with Corinne. Meanwhile, Corinne has been getting caught up in a lot of gambling. One more slip up could cause her to lose her house.
Do you want to play some cards with me?
Don't gamble. It's not even worth it. People, they lose stuff all the time. I knew this one guy, and he wants to stick it out.
You're really gonna listen to the girl in the bathrobe? Yeah!
To her disappointment, she lost the game, and all her money. Little did she know the debt collector was on her way.
Who's the debt collector?
In Corinne's situation, she's the big bad wolf. Corinne did not have enough money to pay her bills, so she lost her house, forcing her and Shelby to move in with Brian. Brian got a phone call from Phil. Phil was having a party at his house that night and wanted Brian to come. Little did Brian know, it wasn't the best party to be at, so he decided to go.
Hold on. I thought you said that Brian was the smartest guy. He should have realized that there'd be drugs and alcohol here at the party. I mean, come on. Phil is the wildest guy at West Jordan High.
It didn't take Brian long to realize that this wasn't the best party. There was lots of bad things going on, and he started feeling uncomfortable very fast. Phil tried to offer Brian a drink.
Oh, I get it now. So, Phil is Brian's bad wolf.
Yeah, you're catching on.
Come on, Brian. One little drink isn't gonna hurt you. Might as well just have a sip.
Brian,
Come on.
don't drink. You know what your dad always said about drinking? Plus, you're trying to build upon the rock. If you build upon the rock and you're drunk, you're probably going to fall right off, and that's not where you want to be. Now, is it?
Brian said no. He remained faithful and listened to his father's teachings and built on the rock. His foundation was sure. He became an example to his sisters. And they all lived happily ever after. The end. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. But, like, how exactly do you build upon, like, what is the rock, really?
The rock is actually Christ in our lives. And so we put Christ first in our life and focus everything around him. Everything will fall into place.
So let's make this year a great one, everyone.
Yeah!
What?